so I want to do some quick animations. I'm going to do idle walk run. But before I do that, I need to create a default pose, FBX. So right now it's just a regular file, main character version 8 rig. So I'm going to save this as, it's the exact same file, but I'm just going to save it as main character default pose. Save that as a Blender file. And I'm also going to select everything. Oops. As well as the armature. And then we're going to export it as an FBX. It's going to be called the same name, main character default pose. And before I go any further, I'm going to create one file where the fingers are closed and the hands are down. Just so if I need to grab this file, I can like quickly create animations and I don't have to like close the fingers all the time. I just do it this one time. So when I press period, make sure individual origins is selected. I'm going to close the fingers first. And I'll go to top view, I'll close the thumb. So this. Okay. So with the fingers closed, I am going to bring the hands down. And I would also like to bring on the clavicle. So it looks more natural. Oops. So this file, I'm just going to save it as main character arms down. So this is just, it's not going to be exported as an FBX. It's just when I want to grab it really quick with the hands down and the hands closed. So let's call this main character underscore arms down. So with that created, I'm going to go into the animations tab. And I'm going to do, basically using this pose or something very similar, I'm just going to create an idle. It's going to be 30 frames. before I do that, looks like he's kind of leaning back. I want to push him forward a little bit. So for the first frame, I just like to grab everything and then insert a key for every bone, just for the first frame. And the idle animation is basically I'm just animating the hands and the main controller that's parenting the spine base and the hip. So the last frame is going to be pretty much this thing. The middle frame is going to be slightly, I can nudge it forwards or backwards, but here I'll just nudge it slightly backwards. So as I play through it, it goes back and forth. And actually, you can go back a little bit more. And in between those, here I'll create a nudge it to the left. In between the last two, I'll nudge it to the right. So basically, all it is you're just like circling around. This is what I do. This is what I quickly do for pretty much all my characters. You can get a lot more creative, obviously, but this is just one that I always do when I'm quickly trying to create a Unity setup. It's just really fast. So I'll just save that out as main character idle. And I'll export to make sure I've selected all the geometry. So the body, the beard, the two eyeballs, the teeth, and then select the armature, and then export. And as an FBX, main character idle, export. Okay, and I'm going to open up the arms down file again. And with this one, I'm going to do the walk. This one's also going to be 30 frames. I'll go ahead and nudge him forward again for this one. But for the feet, you need to be closer together. So first frame, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. You know, push them down so that feet touch the ground. Start off by keying all the bones. Then I'll start with the feet. So The first frame is the same as this, so I'll just keyframe that. The middle frame, the legs are switched. So this one goes to about here. So with this one selected, on the way back, it pushes back, and on the return, slightly in the air, slightly tilted down, and 2 frames before this, the last frame. I'm just going to copy and paste this frame over here, and I'm just going to change it so that it's the heel that touches. And we'll do the same thing with this one. This one returns the beginning, so I'll rotate it down, bring it slightly up, and 2 frames before it hits the ground, I'm going to copy and paste that key and rotate it up. So heel hits the ground and flattens. Okay, that looks alright. With the main control selected, I'm going to key the first, last, and middle, but in between those keys, he's got to bob up and down. I'm going to select the spine base, spine 1, spine 2, chest, and what I want to do is when this foot is forward, then everything is twisted towards this way. Same with the last frame, but when this foot is forward, then it should be more like that. And because he needs to be looking forward, first and last frame is like that, middle frame like that. I got to position the hands now. So when this foot is forward, this hand is back. So this will be like this. Same with the last frame. And when this leg is back, then this one goes, the hand goes forward. And it can go in probably. the body goes up. Because this foot is returning, all the weight should be on this leg. So I'm going to push him this way. And the opposite is true for this key here, because he's on this leg now. So which means I want these hands to move out a bit, so that they sort of like, instead of going straight back and forth, they sort of arch out. Same with this key here. Okay, so if I hit play, okay, so that's basic walk. So again, I'm going to select all the geometry and the armature and export as FBX. And just make sure the name is correct, main character underscore walk. And I'm going to open up the R's down file again. Okay, so with that open, I'm going to go into the animations tab. And this one's only going to be 15 frames, so half a second. So the first thing I want to do is I want to bring these feet close together. Okay, so bring this forward slightly. One thing that I always have to do when doing a run cycle is I have to make them bend forward like this. Because when people run, they don't run upright. They sort of lean forward. So with the feet, actually, it should be toes up. Yes. Actually, I can bring the body down. Let me save this. So it'll be main character run. Okay, so I'm gonna, oops, the wireframe, select all the bones, and as usual I'm going to key the frames for all the bones in the first frame. The last frame for now I'm only dealing with feet, so I'm going to key feet, and in the middle frame the feet are going to be switched. So this one is going to go down here, and the other one is going to be up here. Make sure it matches roughly. So the first thing I want to do is deal with the feet, but before I do that, I need to create the up and down motion first, or the up and down movement of the upper body. So the first and last of the middle frame is going to be the same height, but 2 frames before each contact. So 2 frames before this, I'm going to put a key. I'm going to put a key here. 1 frame after each contact, it's going to dip. And after this contact, dip. And these keys here that I placed before, he's going to rise. So the heel touches, and he dips, and this only goes back up, and then he goes down again for the next heel touch, and goes down a little bit more. Up, and heel touch. Okay, so this frame here, basically the idea is that as this foot moves back, there has to be a moment where his toe is touching the ground like this before he kicks back. So all this in between stuff here, all I need to do is rotate this down. So heel touch, and next frame it's flat on the ground, and that's when the body moves down the lowest and he catches himself, and then his feet are flat on the ground again for the next frame. Goes heel, flat on the ground, flat on the ground, and from here he slowly kicks back with his toes, I guess. So I just have to bring this up so the toe's not in the ground, as so. And one last toe touch before he kicks off. And when the foot returns, up here he should be up like this before his heel touches the ground. all these in-betweens are just bring the foot down a little bit so it just looks more natural. This one I can't go any further down because his toes are already touching. Same with this, I can go a little more down. And I just have to repeat the same thing with the other foot. So on the return, his feet should be here somewhere before his heel touches the ground. And I'm just going to bring these down, so just make it more natural. That one's fine. And this one, put one more down. Touches ground. Here he's touching the ground before it kicks off. So heel. This one's flat on the ground. Flat on the ground. Toe on the ground. Toe on the ground. Toe on the ground, and kicks off. Okay, so far that's all good. So the only thing I need to worry about is, well, the next thing is I have to rotate the spine so that when this foot is forward, he's turning this way. Same with the last frame, but in the middle frame, the other foot's forward, so it's going to be turning that way. But the head needs to be I should tilt the head up. Oops. So he's looking forward here, the last frame, and the middle frame. This. So now I just need to worry about the arms now. So his arms like this when this foot is forward. Same with the last frame, but when this foot is back, this one is back here, and this leg is forward. That leg is back. He's not looking, he doesn't look like he's looking forward. Adjust the head a bit. And the arms, I just wanted to arch out. Okay, so if I play, okay, I'm quite happy with that. So I'll save it as main character run. I'm going to select all the geometry as well as the armature. File, export, FBX. Okay, so that's basically it. So those are the 3 animations that I wanted to do, plus the default pose. So for the next video, I'm going to import these into Unity, and I'm gonna script everything so that it's functional. So hopefully you enjoy that, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.